So in example 1, here's our picture. And so we have angle A and side A. There is our complete fraction. We know side B, so we can find angle B. Cross multiply and solve for angle B using the inverse sine. If this is the sine value, here is the angle that comes from that. We've been doing that for a while now. You go ahead and practice yourself. Now it's the ambiguous case. This angle will work because that's what we found. And if I subtract it from 180, I have another angle that might work. That might work. So here's the idea. They gave me an angle. That angle has to be 43 degrees, has to be angle A. That's given to us. I'm saying the angle B might be 148. Well, if I start with the 180, subtract the 43, and subtract the 148, I've already used up too much for those two angles. It's negative. I have nothing left for the third angle. You see that? Here's one angle. Here's a possible second angle. I have one more angle to find in the triangle, but if they already add up to bigger than 180, then there's nothing to do there. So then, I have angle A, I found angle B, I subtract those two angles from 180 to get the third angle, angle C. And then the law of sines continues. If I know angle C, again, I'm using angle A and side A as my complete fraction, I can find side C. Because remember, to solve a triangle, I have to find all three sides and all three angles. In this case, they gave me a side, two sides at an angle. I need to find two more angles. I did here and here, and I had to find the third side, and that's here. Now in example 2, what they might do is they might just give you this information and not the picture. Because with the picture you can see that 51 is not going to reach, and so it's not possible. And so some of you are just going to draw the picture and make this 51 and fool yourselves. And that's dangerous. But let's do this. So then, here you go. You have this angle and the opposite side. So there is your complete fraction. I have side of 71. I can then find angle B, the angle opposite that side, using law of sines. Cross multiply and solve for sine. Do this calculation. You'll get a number bigger than 1. It is impossible. But if you didn't know that and you did the inverse sine on your calculator, it would say error, and that would show you. Now for the ambiguous case, when two things might happen. So notice we have angle A is 40. Side A, the side opposite, could be 54. And so I have the big triangle for now. And side B is 62. And they're asking us, how come the calculator is never going to give us an obtuse option? Well, because inverse sine, remember, gives us angles between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, which is between negative 90 and 90. Never larger than 90. Remember I told you about organizing? So what I would do is I would put the given information above. So I am given one angle and two sides. I have to find two more angles and one side. Again, my A is the complete fraction. I know the side and the angle. oops, I start here, sorry about that. Start here. I know the side and the angle. I know side B, so I can find angle B. Cross multiply, solve for sine B. Here's the sine value. If you do the inverse sine, you'll get this angle. The other angle that might work is 180 minus the angle I just found, which would give us this angle. Since we know that one angle is 40 and the other angle we just found, just subtract those two angles from 180 and you'll get the third angle. Okay? So we now have the two angles we were looking for, B and C. And notice I call these B1 and C1. They're the first ones in this group that I'm going to find. I have one more side to find. That's side C. So I take this angle C, put it here, use the law of sines, cross multiply, and solve for C1, and I get the third side. A and B were given. I now have side C. Now, but we said that this other angle might work. Well, let's see. 132. So I have 180. I subtract the 40 that I'm given. I subtract the 132, the second angle that might work, and sure enough, there's space left for the third angle. Take that angle, put it into the law of sines. Again, angle A and side A are known values. I'm looking for side C, cross multiply, solve for side C, and we have two sets of answers. The given information is what both are going to share, and then here are the two angles I found, and the third side. And then for the second situation, here is one angle, here is the second angle, and here is the third side.